Okay, hey everybody. Guess who's talking again? Kinda. For the
Yeah.
most part.
You're not going to be singing soprano anytime soon.
No, there was also a brief ER visit when the infection came back and got into my eye about a week ago, but as you can hear, I'm doing much better.
And can see in both eyes.
Yes. I no longer have like pink eye in one of my eyes. It's just only moderately, slightly bloodshot. But that's also because I've been sleeping on a couch, because I've been having coughing fits, and yeah. Okay, we don't need to go into all that. Welcome to the Holistic Missionaries Wrassling Supplemental. I'm happy to be able to talk again, so I'm excited. I'm going to be doing a lot of it.
Yeah.
Okay, but first, let's start with our trivia question from last week, because we did 2 in a row. We were off for like 5 weeks.
Yes.
Anyway, all right. Whoop. In what sport did Bad News Brown win a bronze medal at the 1976 Olympics? Joe! And we have 2 special shout outs. One is Don Stout from Maryland, or from Baltimore, Maryland, a longtime Facebook friend of mine. And the other is Josh Gardner, who is a big fan of ours, who answered on YouTube. So thank you both of you for answering the trivia question.
Yes. Possibly even watching our program.
Yes, we definitely appreciate it.
Yay!
Especially with this
fans.
screwed up as our schedule is. All right, so you want to get started with Stand and Deliver?
Yeah.
Okay, so
let's do that.
We had NXT Stand and Deliver was on last Saturday, and it was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
Overall, it was very well done. I thought it was very well put together. Matches were, they weren't heavy on storyline, but in terms of performance, it more than made up for that shortcoming.
Absolutely. First one, which weird billing, but the women's NXT title match: Jacy Jayne versus Kendall Gray versus Lola Vice. We both got this wrong. We thought it was going to be Kendall Gray. Turns out it was Lola Vice. Lola Vice is the new NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah.
We both gave this an A. Lola, it was actually kind of clever. Good ring awareness. Jacy Jayne was trying to pin Kendall Gray. Lola Vice grabbed Kendall Gray's foot and put it up on the ropes to stop the pin. So I thought that was kind of a clever thing.
Yeah, this storytelling was done very well.
Yeah, it was an excellent match.
I was definitely going into this thinking this is going to be Jacy Jayne's last hurrah at NXT before being called up to the main roster.
Yeah, and it fucking better be, man. I've been waiting like 4 years for this shit. She's probably also been waiting a long time.
Yeah. I just don't see that. We said this about a year or 2 years ago. There's nothing left on for Jacy Jayne to be done on NXT. And as far as NXT can take her, it's time to throw her in the quote-unquote deeper waters of Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
I feel either roster could do with someone like Jacy Jayne at this point.
They would both benefit from having her, because she's, proven to be, she's been a leader of a faction. She's been a solo title holder. She's been a tag team title holder. She's a very versatile player.
Yeah.
And, I just want to see her get to the main roster, for the love of God. Finally.
I feel at this point she would be at least a very decent Intercontinental or U.S. champion. Possibly form another faction somewhere down the line. Like I said, all in all, good utility player. I thought this was going to be a Kendall Gray. Sue thought this was going to be a Kendall Gray.
Yeah, didn't think they were going to put on Lola Vice, but she has, put her time in.
Yeah, I can't say that Lola Vice is like the worst NXT wrestler.
No, she's not a bad wrestler. She's just annoying.
Yeah, I think
she's a solid fighter, though.
Because she is a Cuban American woman, and I feel like
we get it. You're Latino, but she still feels like she hasn't grown personality-wise.
Yeah.
and she still feels like some old white guy's fetish version of what a Cuban woman is like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we could be totally wrong about that, but I feel like her personality has not evolved at all. She's still annoying, but she has gotten much better in ring, I think.
In ring is good. I'm not gonna.
She's a solid performer in that regard.
Solid performer, good pick for an NXT Women's Champion. That being said, like I said, it's the personality, it's the presence that Lola Vice has, and like she was kind of brought in as like her sticker gimmick, and it really hasn't evolved all that much since that 2-3 year ago period.
Yeah.
Into what I would qualify somebody as being like main event level.
Yeah. But excellent match overall, though. You know.
To be fair, though, Kendall Gray's personality is not necessarily all that enticing either.
It kind of makes me laugh because, you know, her last name is Kendall Gray, and she kind of reminds me of Jean Grey from the X-Men, where she's, you know, very utilitarian but doesn't have a lot of personality.
Yeah, she's a hell of an in-ring performer.
She is. She's amazing. She needs a little bit of a boost personality.
That's where the similarities with, like, Olympic people that came in, like, her angle, beginning and end is like in-ring, great. Has a lot of potential. On the mic and general personality presence, not so much. There's a long way to go there before she's like,
hold on, my cat's stealing food from his brother. Okay, get out of there. Sorry, Bubs. I threw some toilet paper at him.
He's emotionally scarred for life.
Yep. He'll never be able to go into the bathroom again.
What a great transition for our next match.
Yes, the Rohypnol Collective versus Los Americanos. It's the Vanity Project, but I call them the Rohypnol Collective because, come on, look at them.
To be fair, though, like, this is a great tag match. Yeah. It's better than a lot of tag matches have been on any main roster since I would go as far as like what, SummerSlam with the ladder match. That was our TLC match, I believe. Yeah. At SummerSlam, but this was a solid tag team event. It makes it even more disappointing that it's not the new Quartercrunch crew, but the New Catch Republic.
New Catch Republic, yeah.
That under this
ridiculous gimmick that has definitely run its course.
Yeah.
Like you have these two guys that are great in-ring performers, great personalities. You can do so much with them, and you stick them in luchador masks and make them not talk and make them follow around Kaiser Wilhelm.
These guys were
Why do I keep calling him that?
Kaiser Wilhelm.
Thank you. He's a great performer too. There's nothing against him. It's just the whole gimmick is it's played out.
I feel like a Ludwig Kaiser-led faction of European wrestlers would have been interesting. Maybe even throw in Rusev as your heavy for a new Imperium. And
where the hell has he been?
Yeah, and he's basically been lingering in the lower mid card, I guess, at this point. He's going to be at WrestleMania. He will get a WrestleMania paycheck. But it's as a filler role. It's basically we need a sixth. I don't even know how many people are competing in the IC title match, but I couldn't care less about the IC title match.
Yeah.
That being said, it was a great. Back to point. It was a great tag team title match.
Surprisingly, yeah.
It was well done. Vanity Project is a good tag team. There is the potential there to have a good tag team.
They're creepy, but they're good in ring.
Yeah.
I gave it a B+. Dan gave it an A.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Then third match, Sol Ruca versus Zarya. We both thought this was going to go to Zarya, just the way that the storyline has been going, but Sol Ruca took it, which I feel like is just going to bury Zarya, and Sol Ruca didn't need the win, but maybe Zarya did.
I think so far it's been solidly in like Sol Ruca's thing, but I think you kind of have to have like the heel in this.
Sometimes the heel has to win.
The heel has to win.
To not look weak.
Yeah.
You know?
Otherwise, it's going to be. And I think even the fans
Yeah,
to cheer Zarya. I was like, Zarya's not a pushover. I mean, I'm not saying it's been a pushover match so much that the matches themselves were fine. It's mainly the results that I have issue with. And like, if you're going to, like I said, if you're going to, I think both these people both Zarya and Salrook are worthy of pushes. Maybe like one for the NXT Women's title, one for the North American Championship. Certainly both need a push. And this is one of those programs where I feel like you can't have one of them look weak. If you got one of them look weak, you're just basically wasting one of them and throwing them away in favor of the other.
Yeah, like what are you gonna do with Zarya now?
Why not? Why not hedge your bets? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, you gave that a B plus. I gave it a B. Can't remember why I gave it a B. It was a good match though.
Yeah, like to me,
it was probably the weakest match, one of the weakest matches on the card. Well, no, that one was but it was still really good.
Yeah.
Like we said, the whole card was really good. All right, men's North American title match. Miles Bourne versus Johnny Gargano, who is now out of his self-induced coma.
This was my weakest.
Yeah, I gave it about the same rating just because it was Miles Bourne. I am very bored by, but Johnny Gargano is just such a great storyteller.
Yeah, like this is him being brought in to make Miles Bourne look like $1 million. And as soon as it's over, it's like, all right, Johnny, back in the closet for you.
Yeah, it's a shame.
And take your wife along with you.
So Miles Bourne retained the title. I was right on that. You thought it was going to be Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
You gave it a B minus. I gave it a B. I have written down here, Deion Lennox showed up after the bell. But that's all I have. Did he do something?
Yeah, he attacked.
Oh, right. Okay. Because I was at this point looking on Twitter to find out if Donald Trump was dead. Because that was the night when the whole thing was like, is Trump dead? Is he in the Walter Reed Medical Center thing? So I was on Twitter trying to find out if the president was dead. So I missed some of the match. So I'm kind of... Anyway. He is not dead, in fact.
What? No.
All right.
What have I been doing the last week and a half?
Right. Next, women's North American title match: Tatum Paxley versus Blake Monroe. It's a good match.
It was a lot better than I expected to be.
Yeah.
And like I said, I thought it was going to be Blake Monroe, where you were.
I went with Tatum Paxley. I don't know, all the ups and downs and the title, and she has the title, she doesn't have the title, she doesn't have the title, she has the title, she doesn't have the title. That's been going on. It's like she needs to win a follow-up match. It's like this was that.
I'm glad for Paxley, but I feel like at the same time, you brought in Mariah May, now Blake Monroe, who was basically like, if not the feud of the year, and most wrestling aficionados' minds, like up there in the top 3 with Toni Storm.
Yeah.
And you've done next to Precious Little with her. We know she's there.
She's gotten a lot of airtime, but she hasn't really had a lot of matches.
Yeah.
And this one was really good.
She's had one North American title run.
Yeah.
And I appreciate her being run up the system.
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't want another Jade Cargill on our hands, quite frankly.
No. But that being said, I feel like she's been ready for bigger and better things for months now. I feel like it's the climb to the top is awkward at best. I feel like at some point, if you're not going to bring Blake Monroe up to the main roster, then I feel like a trek to the women's world championship or the women's NXT championship is the logical course, and it doesn't feel like it's happening.
Yeah. It felt. I mean, I don't want to be like ever since Ava left, blah blah blah. But it has felt like ever since Ava left, a lot of people's storylines, especially women's storylines, have been kind of getting a little fuzzy around the edges.
And I don't know.
I don't know how much weight Ava had, but it does feel like recently it's been a little... It could not have anything to do with Ava versus Stone. You know, it could have absolutely nothing to do with it, but it has felt a little storylines becoming a little fuzzy and nebulous. You know, like hard to figure out where people are going.
Yeah.
But not in a good way, like they're keeping us on their toes, like in a bad way, like you know what, like the last season of Battlestar Galactica, like nobody has any idea. Yeah, a little stagnancy, yeah. But no, that was a good match. I give it a B plus. I thought Paxi was going to win, and she did, and I was right. I kicked his butt this time.
Yeah, this time, yeah.
And you gave it a B.
I think most of my judgments being wrong had a lot to do with like who I thought was going to get called up, and I guess from the NXT stuff, it doesn't look like anybody's getting called up as of yet. I mean,
because on Tuesday, like JC Jane was still there.
It could be there are a couple weeks to WrestleMania, and I think they do have some sort of plans for one last PLE or something like that.
NXT does?
Yeah, and
makes
PLE
sense.
coming up, so maybe this is like their last. Some of these guys' last runs before they get called up. They're gonna wait until after WrestleMania, which makes some sense. But I would think at this point, like if you're gonna call people like Joe Henry or JC Jane, this would be the point. I feel the same deliver is your big one.
Yeah.
At this point, take those guys who are going to the main roster, take them out of the storyline, and move on with the new people rather than have them kind of just linger around.
And then just disappear. Yeah. All right. Main event of Stand and Deliver was a men's NXT title fatal four-way. Joe Henry, who went into the match with the title, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, former title holder, and Tony D'Angelo. We both gave this an A. I said even Ricky Saints looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I actually did perform pretty well.
The last few weeks has improved some. I don't know how much of this is being paired together with Ethan Page.
I'm sure it couldn't hurt because Ethan Page is a master in the ring.
Yeah. He is he's one of the best in-ring performers and one of the best people at being a heel in general. Has been up until that point pretty boring. He still is kind of on the boring side.
Yeah.
But he's improving. I think he knows another year, maybe 2 years in NXT before even being considered for the main roster. Page, on the other hand, is another guy. I'm just like, why haven't they called him up for like them?
Exactly. Yes. It's like JC Jane. Like he should have been called up years ago.
Yeah. This guy has so much natural charisma.
He does. Oh my God.
And ring talent. Like
he does.
This guy could be in a year or two on the main roster world champion.
But I mean, you can say that about any of these guys, like Tony D'Angelo, fantastic in-ring storyteller. You know, Ethan Page, Joe Henry, both excellent performers in their own right. So, yeah, even if Ricky Saints hadn't been getting a little bit better, you know, they would have carried him. They would have made him look good.
That being said, the match was really good in general.
Yeah, it was really good. It was excellent. Tony D'Angelo won. Mm-hmm. He now holds the belt, which is, honestly, I'm actually really excited about it because I've liked Tony D for a long time. I've been, I remember ever since he, it was, I don't know, a few months before he left, he had this great, like, barn burner of a match with Obafemi. And he was like, I realized at the time, I was like, oh shit, this dude is like a serious heavyweight competitor. You know, it's like he was good before then. And I was like, okay, he can go toe to toe with Obafemi and come out standing.
Make the match feel plausible.
Yes. Yeah. And I was really impressed by that. And it's like, I am glad that he is getting a title run. I feel like he's deserved one for a long time, and he was out for a long time, and I get that, you know. But yeah, I'm glad that he's back and that they're giving him a title run. I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah. I have a note here. The screen kept going out. I guess there was a camel chewing on the cord.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at the beginning of it, I'm not sure what was going on, but yeah. And it was being aired on YouTube primarily. I that probably didn't have anything to do with it because they were in the performance center. So I don't know, but yeah, it was really good PLE. I give it a solid A-
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah, to me it was about that A minus level.
Yeah, and it's going to be sad next weekend watching WrestleMania because it's going to be like nowhere near as tight a show.
No, it's there's so much wrong with it, and we'll probably get into more of that next week.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I think next week is probably just going to be talking about WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because that'll be the day before it starts, obviously, the Friday before. So I think it's going to be just dedicated to WrestleMania for next week.
I will be somewhat behind that. I'll be doing a couple of road trips that weekend, but I'm going to try and watch as much of it as possible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have a week to catch up on it.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just avoid the internet for 48 hours.
All right. Let's go back to last Friday with SmackDown. Rhea Ripley went up against Michin.
It was a match. It was halfway out of the three that Jade Cargill faction that's been put together. She is definitely the most talented of the group.
Yes, unbelievably.
That big head. It was basically, I wouldn't call it a squash match.
It was a bit of a squash match. It feels like
it was definitely lopsided.
It feels like Michin and Rhea, if given the storyline, no storyline constraints, could really show out together in a match, but they're not letting her do that.
She's basically the goon for she's a goon for
for somebody who can't wrestle as good as she can. It's annoying.
I never thought I'd say this is going to be the first Rhea Ripley match I don't care about.
I mean, Rhea will make Jade look like $1 million.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's like the triple threat between her, Io, and she's on injury right now because of the broken finger.
Bianca.
Yeah, and Bianca. Or Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch. I want to say this is the first. The weird part is like the first one I'm not really expecting. It might be as bad. I don't know if it is bad, but definitely as lopsided as which was the NXT champion and big challenge by Charlotte during COVID. And that was 2020. This is like the first Rhea Ripley match I at a WrestleMania I haven't had much interest in to watch.
But that goes for a lot of the matches.
That's not just a low. That's one weird one that I'm expecting, and we'll talk about later.
All right. So Uncle Howdy defeated Tama Tonga, who kind of got in Solo's face a bit. Solo tried to steal the lantern back after the match, but Tama Tonga stopped him, forced him to give it back to to Uncle Howdy because he said that it was having a bad effect on their whole faction.
Yeah.
So the lantern is back with the Wyatt Six. I guess the storyline is over. I have no idea.
I think the problem with this is that they were trying to sell this as the lantern was cursing the NFTs, and there's nothing that's like
they didn't go past that. They didn't even say that. They didn't go past that concept.
Yeah, they have you. It was very much an example of show don't tell, and it was very much them trying to explain it rather than have the in ring stuff and have the behind the scenes stuff. Sans like Tamatanga and Solo having to explain it, do the work for you. The story was not being explained non-verbally. I mean, if you turn the volume off and tell me what's going on, well, I guess I like that lantern, but I can't tell you that that's a cursed object that's having problems with the NFTs. And Solo wasn't creating that much. He wasn't selling me on the idea that he was the Captain Ahab of the NFTs, and the lantern was driving him to obsession.
And honestly, I can't tell if that's Solo Sikoa or just the writing. Yeah. I feel like it's the latter.
Because I feel like if given a chance, Solo can be it.
Yeah. A good storyteller.
Could be a good storyteller.
Yeah.
That being said, like this is like, but this whole storyline is not doing any favor for anybody in either faction.
Not really, no. They're just kind of being left wanting, I guess.
Yeah. It is a waste of like 10 people.
Excellent talents.
Yeah.
Excellent performers at that, you know. That is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
All right. Trick Williams invited Little Yachty to join him at WrestleMania. They're trying to find an angle to fit him in instead of putting an actual wrestler in the match at WrestleMania that they're using for Little Yachty.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
We'll
get back into this, I think, when we talk about Raw. Maybe not. But they're doing the same thing for Jelly Roll.
Yeah, but the U.S. title thing is another one that's being handled poorly. Why can't we just see Trick and Mello? Why are you fucking up Sami Zayn's career on top of that? I mean, I guess maybe Sami's getting at that point.
Oh, that was last Friday. Sami Zayn took the belt, the IC title off of Carmelo Hayes, or the U.S. title. No, it was the IC title.
The U.S. title.
Okay, it was the U.S. title. And people were very unhappy about it. They were calling him Sammy Hogan in the audience.
I don't think Zayn deserves that. It's not him that's...
It doesn't feel like he's politicking to get this, you know?
I think maybe in the storyline, but it's still like, that's not Sammy. It's creative that's placing him into this situation. And Sammy has to sell it. And maybe in that angle, I mean, they're calling him Sammy Hogan or whatever and trying to sell this air of him trying to politic his way into it. Story. Okay, maybe, but there's just something missing there because it's Sami Zayn. It's
like the nicest guy in wrestling since DDP.
Yeah.
You know, like since Mick Foley. I don't know. But
there's the idea that I'm looking for. Miscasting.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for. That's really the like one. Like, you are casting the wrong guy in this. Like maybe Sami Zayn of 2018 or 2019. Weasley, Sami Zayn, that was the heel leading a heel faction of Cesaro and Shinsuke and all that, trying to maneuver like that. Not Sami Zayn of 2026.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like I said. This is like a combination of miscasting and poor writing. I tend to think it is.
Yeah, and to be honest, like I love Sami Zayn, but I don't like that they took the title off of Carmelo Hayes.
I think this should have been Carmelo and Trick.
Oh God, yes, that would have been so good.
The NXT thing already had him as a barber. I think you're throwing it away. It should be here. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to throw it down the line as something that goes into SummerSlam or Money in the Bank.
It's like you could have just held on for a couple more weeks.
You're not doing Carmelo any favors. You're not doing Trick any favors. You're not doing Sammy any favors.
According to the audiences, they're definitely not doing Sammy any favors. Yeah. They were mad about that. Yeah. All right. Aleister Black defeated Matt Cardona. I guess that lack of storyline is over now. Who the hell knows?
Well, neither one of them are anywhere near the WrestleMania scene.
Yeah, which is a shame because they're both good. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair defeated Bayley and Lyra Valkyria.
Oh boy. Another one.
Yeah, they've been really grinding them a lot. Damian Priest and R-Truth, who have the tag titles. You know what? It's like we tend to say on the show, we don't like it when they just stick two random performers together and call it a tag team. But you know what? Honestly, this one specifically, and this only one,
every time
I'm fine with.
Every time every once in a while,
there
it broken records. Every once in a while, you like I would call it your rock and sock connection scenario, where you get two guys who are just again. I think it works for Truth and Priest because Truth and Priest have history together with the Judgment Day.
Yeah,
so it's not like
plus they're both absolutely charming.
Yeah,
you know.
So it's pretty much a good comedy duo in the idea that
it is.
Truth is the comedy guy, and Priest is the straight is
often confused straight man.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one was actually baffled. Yes, yes. This one was great. It was Damian Priest and R-Truth against The Miz and Kit Wilson and Danhausen.
There's that.
Okay, so at one point, so Danhausen is still trying to get mentored by The Miz.
Yeah.
The Miz does not want to mentor Danhausen. He wants to, apparently, I guess he's kind of trying to mentor Kit Wilson, but Danhausen is Danhausen, so he won't get the message. Kit Wilson is out. Miz is taking a lot of damage. Truth is in the ring. Danhausen runs out to the ring and comes up to get tagged. Miz is not paying attention, and Truth, being Truth, tags in Danhausen.
Who thinks it's up? Yeah.
So Danhausen is now on Truth's side, I guess. Anyway, so he tried to curse Miz. Miz pulled the ref in front of him, so the ref got cursed. And then when Miz tried to pin Truth, the ref had an arm cramp and he couldn't do the count.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Damian Priest and R-Truth retained the title. It was a great match. It was really enjoyable. And Danhausen uncursed the ref afterwards, and then his arm cramp went away. So
it was very Papa Shango done for laughs, like I would say.
Yeah, and it was really good. It was like, everybody involved, including the ref, it's nice to see, these performers who are actually good performers, like, in the ring, willing to put their, egos aside for like a comedy bit. And especially when that comedy bit is so well done and really comes off well, I thought it did. I thought it was really funny and really enjoyable. It was a good match. What do you think?
I thought it was fun for what it was.
Yeah. Oh.
So you have that
everything.
All this to keep the roly paper.
Yep.
Straight.
Yep. It does get a little persnickety. All right, let's move to Raw. CM Punk came out and says bitched for the first 15 minutes. Although
we skipped past that, and only this is one of the very few times I regret. Honestly, I regret the authority.
Yeah.
CM Punk
Yeah, I've never felt this way before. It's weird.
Yeah. So
I wanted to watch CM Punk talk for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
What is wrong with me?
We really just wanted a paragraph of 30 seconds.
Yeah. He said he called out TKO for their ticket prices, and he gave them a hard time about Pat McAfee. Interestingly, though, WWE edited out that section about the ticket prices for an online clip, and they got community noted on Twitter, because sometimes, even though Twitter has become a cesspool of neo-Nazi bullshit, the community that's still there, that was for the predates Elon, still pulls some good shit sometimes, and this is one of them.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. It's some bullshit.
He's not wrong on Pat McAfee. He's definitely not wrong on ticket pricing or the greatness of TKO.
Yes, and it's something that we've talked about too.
Quite a few that we were talking about it this morning, and basically going to things like TKO is basically trying to run WWE on a UFC model, and the UFC model is basically get a dedicated rabid fan base that will drop immense amounts of money on everything, and it doesn't work on a WWE model that's, like or not.
Ironically, you've been trying to get people to do that at your shows too, and it doesn't work because those people are not out there.
Yeah. Say that again.
Like you're always like, when we're at shows, I need some dedicated oddball thousandaire to come and just drop all this money at my table.
Yeah.
Like they aren't getting shit back for it, so why would they do this? And I mean that only in terms of WWE, not in terms of his books, because his books are fire, and you should all drop money on them.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on in the program. But back to the CM Punk deal and TNT where like love Vince or hate Vince, we definitely go leaning towards the hate and love Vince. The model for WWE for years was a big tent policy, which is basically bring as many people in there and have reasonable prices to go to your events and watch your pay per views. Or even with Triple H, bring in like when WWE Network came on and later with Peacock was like, okay, just $9.99 a month or whatever it costs to be on Peacock, got you everything. And now I have to want to pay extra amount of money to get, you know, I guess what,
Netflix, ESPN,
yeah,
USA, CW.
yeah,
We can't have nice things anymore.
one place for everything. Again, the term was brought up probably once or twice in this program is certification. They got it a great thing, and then once we're all committed, slowly degrade the program and they charge its customers more, or try to bleed more and more money out of its fan base or customer base until they either drop out or they have enough money to be the only game in town. And at this point, like WWE, guess what? You're not the only game in town anymore. There was a point where you were the most dominant.
Yeah.
Where you were literally, for all intents and purposes, the only game in town. But that's not it anymore. Like AEW is now becoming a serious threat to you. Beyond that, you have people who are New Japan fans. There are people who are fans of a myriad of different independent promotions, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, or um, several, like I said, several other promotions that are out there, or even TNA. We watched TNA last night.
Yeah, we've been watching TNA sometimes.
Sometimes it's interesting. Occasionally, once or
the thing that I actually like about TNA is that it feels like sort of an old school house show.
Yeah.
Even though it's on TV. Yeah. And I appreciate that. So I'm kind of getting into it. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
But like I said, if the course does not change sooner or later, you and I are, as your average lower end income people, are not going to be wanting to watch everything on WWE, or even say like, screw it, if I have to follow it's being a comic book fan, like the equivalent of like when Marvel and DC had these company-wide crossovers, and I had to buy 20 comics to understand one storyline. Mm-hmm. Sooner or later, you're just like, screw this. You're just trying to squeeze every dime out of me. Yeah. I'm not doing this. I'm not playing your game right. I'm not going to be. I'm getting off of this ride, and I'll go over like say what you want about AEW. They're like a lot easier. They only have 2 programs, and as soon as they get off their ass and get off this pay-per-view model and onto a PLE model, I'm all on board. Yeah. This seems to be the one glaring flaw. Yeah. Right now.
And it is a bit of a glaring flaw, a bit of a large glaring flaw.
To be fair, there are no other flaws with AEW. This is the one that for like somebody who wants to get into like AEW as much as possible, the big stumbling block. I don't want to fall $40 a month on something I'm going to watch once. Anyway, back to other stuff to talk about.
All right, so CM Punk was useful for once. Austin Theory and LA Knight, they're still working on this angle with LA Knight, the Usos, the Vision, working after WrestleMania. Austin Theory won. IShowSpeed is still involved in the Vision's bullshit. And now the Usos and LA Knight are going after them. So Adam Pearce announced that he gets to go to WrestleMania instead of a wrestler. This was the thing that I was looking for when we were talking about SmackDown. Because Jelly Roll is also going to be there, which means that there are 3 wrestling spots, not filled by wrestlers, but filled by celebrities. And that's not even getting into Logan Paul, who also shouldn't be there. Yeah. Anyway, so that's some bullshit. Yeah.
I think at this point, the thought popped into my head just a moment ago. Like, the WrestleMania card right now is like me trying to convince Sue to go to Taco Bell for dinner.
I have gotten food poisoning twice at Taco Bell. One time it was so bad that it was like I was sick for like a week. So you need to understand why we hate Taco Bell. Um,
I haven't got food poisoning there, but I just
also, their meat has oatmeal in it for filler, so it's not even entirely meat.
Yeah. So, quite
Gross.
vegetarians, usually you can make the argument back then it was cheap, but now it's like I've been hearing people saying that it's costing like $30 to make a trip to the pit, like feed two people.
Why would you waste that much money on that much?
It totally does look like crap in certain areas.
Yeah. All right. So AJ Lee had an interview with Michael Cole. Becky Lynch interrupted it, kicked out Michael Cole, and they had a promo battle.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Compared to some of the other stuff, it's completely and utterly fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not something I'm like, ooh, we're gonna see it. It already happened, and I feel like it's time to move on. But
Bailey defeated Lash Legend. Alexa and Charlotte came out at the end. It was an overbooking kind of a thing because Nia Jax was out there and Lyra Valkyrie was out there. So they're doing their whole, there's going to be a big 4-way match. Supposedly, as of now, there's going to be a 4-way tag team match. But Nikki Bella is currently injured.
Nikki or Brie?
I'm pretty sure it's Nikki.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that. Oh my God, Trevor, just bring me the frozen wine box and put it on my ankle. Yeah, she hurt her ankle, which is why they weren't there, and we're kind of hoping that she'll stay injured to avoid WrestleMania.
Trevor, got mommy's benefit. I gotta get better in time for WrestleMania. I'm gonna work all the belts. Trevor!
Like, we don't see anybody get injured, but it has been nice not having to deal with them. So I'm hoping they avoid WrestleMania. Otherwise, it's just 2 more fucking tourists on the card at WrestleMania. All right, Seth Rollins promo. Gunter comes out after him. They're building this up for a match at WrestleMania, which I actually kind of I'm looking forward to. I think that might be cool. There's no real storyline, but I think that's on a good show.
I think it'll be a fine match.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
That being said,
there's no storyline between Gunter and Seth Rollins.
There's nothing to get me invested in it.
Backstage, apparently, the storyline is Gunter has Paul Heyman in his pocket because of it. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens between Gunter and Paul Heyman.
I'm mildly interested in it. Like,
yeah, I like Gunter. I'm glad he's going to be in WrestleMania.
Yeah,
he's going to put on a good show no matter who he's against.
Yes, even that horrible thing with Jey Uso. It was not Gunter's fault.
Oh, that I forgot. That was bad.
That was all Jey Uso. Throwing that on.
All right. So Penta, Javon Evans, and Dragon Lee defeat Los Americanos. They had a busy week. Rey Mysterio came out. He is all better. He's returned from his injury. It was supposed to be a 3-way title match between Penta, Javon Evans, and Dragon Lee at WrestleMania for the IC title. Now Rey is coming in. It's going to be a 4-way. Okay, so this is weird. I wrote this down because I noticed it. Rey came out and congratulated Penta on winning the IC title.
Yeah.
And he made this announcement. But he basically ignored Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
Who, up until he was injured.
It seems like a very subtle.
Yeah, it was like a snub.
Well, it feels like a heel turn.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't think about that.
Because Dragon Lee has always come up as like a white meat baby face.
Yeah. But it was a very definite, but see, I don't think that, because it was weird because it looked like Dragon Lee was going to come over and say hi to him, but just got totally snubbed and ignored and was kind of just like awkwardly standing there.
I think it's a solo attempt to try as a heel turn.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. All right.
I think it was a good story.
Okay. We'll see what happens at WrestleMania there. All right, so Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeated Misha and B-Fab in tag team match. Jade Cargill was ringside after the match, Michin, and B-Fab grabbed Rhea, and Michin and B-Fab grabbed Rhea, and Jade beat the hell out of Io and made her watch. So I have, seriously, can we talk about how sad it is that Michin is babysitting these two absolute sea-showers? They really are sea-showers.
I find it interesting at this point that for this Rhea versus Jade match, you have so many supporting players to make up for the shortcomings of your champion. Whether that be her stable or the fact that you have to have Rhea brought in as a ringer, and the fact that you have to have Io. Io is not even. She's not in a match for WrestleMania.
Yeah, she's not on that show.
Yeah. She's being brought in as a supporting role, which makes me scared of the idea that maybe she'll turn on Rhea at WrestleMania and join up with Jade Cargill's faction.
Hurt.
Well, also, no, later there's talk of Io versus Asuka.
Yeah, that might be happening because of this whole thing with Io trying to rescue Kairi from Asuka.
I'd rather have her go with that than this.
Yeah.
Again, it just seems like such a shit show. Jade Cargill lacks any natural in-ring ability, and only a token amount of personality.
All right. And, yeah, she is. She looks good, but she's a disappointment in literally every other way. Main event. Surprisingly, not two old men yelling at each other again. Hey! Because that happened 3 times. It was a contract signing between Lesnar and Femi. And they destroyed all the...
Shut that guy hitting the goddamn face with some sort of object, like one of the security guys.
Yeah.
I saw footage. I'm still not sure what it was. It looked like a camera at first, and they threw in the ring. I just hit the guy in the shoulder and head. Brock hungry.
Brock went tiny. Oh, no, that's not the voice. I'll see if I can do the voice with my voice. Brock went tiny, man. Brock smelled blood. Wants to eat tiny man face meat. I'm kind of doing it. It's supposed to sound like Bane.
Breath?
A little bit.
Brock like head cheese.
Brock like head cheese best when it's live on head.
Brock like extremely fresh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad we could do this again. Brock Lesnar's a piece of shit, but I like doing the Brock voice. What did they call him? Sven the Obtuse? It goes with the voice. You can't do the Sven the Obtuse without the voice. Oh, Brock Obtuse.
I know what that means.
Hope is compliment, or else I destroy your shit.
Not come through, not everything over. Eat cats. Probably would. He strikes as a dog person. He raises cool dogs, and then eats them when they get weak. You no longer have use other than dinner, Brock eat whole.
Yep.
Doggy. Eat doggy nugget.
He's going to come out hard again.
Brock had the sharp poops again.
Brock don't like sharp poops. Maybe Brock should examine diet.
I think Brock ate vegetables one time.
Anyway,
Can't be that bad.
All right, let's move to
NXT. Magic picture box that Brock on right now. When Brock eat it.
He's like a goat.
The giant saber-toothed goat.
Yep. All right, let's move to NXT. Tony D'Angelo is the first ever NXT Grand Slam champion, which is pretty cool. He
no,
I still give it to him. I think it's cool. Yeah.
I mean, haven't won the speed championship. At least it's
there you go. All right. Well, he made the mistake of saying Joe Henry, so Joe Henry showed up because that's what he does. Then Ethan Page came out. I have a note in here. Why is he still in the NXT and not the main roster yet? Called him knockoff Punisher. It was confusing, but okay. And then
I mean,
Ricky
it makes
Fame came
sense. He's
out.
coming out with a coat and the shirt, and
Yeah, I guess so. And then Darkseid came out, and then Stone came out and set up an 8-man with all of them for later in the show. Like 10 minutes later in the show. I don't know. All right, Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame won with the help of Zarya. Zarya speared Sol Ruka and helped take her out, which I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like you already made Zarya look weak, and that makes Izzy Dame look weak. But she beat Sol, but it doesn't really make Sol look weak. It just, I don't know.
I think it was an attempt to try to make everybody look strong, and it failed.
Yeah, I think so. All right, triple threat. Keanu Carver versus Jasper Troy versus Josh Briggs, who still
everybody lost and they were sucked into the earth.
Unfortunately, no, Carver.
Oh, goddamn, I've been close.
That would have been the better outcome.
I'm terrible at predicting things.
You're actually usually pretty good at predicting things. You're in a slump lately.
Yeah.
All right, the 8-way tag match. Dark State versus Tony D, Joe Henry, Page, and Saints. Ethan Page stole the pin away from Tony D, who spiked him off the mat after the match. Who cares? They won anyway.
Yeah. And so like, why would you be upset? You got the win. Like,
yeah. Speed tournament. Alexis King versus
and that
a
wasn't
new guy.
That wasn't even the main event either.
No, it wasn't. That was weird. Like, it should have been the main event.
The main event was
no real main event.
It was a promo.
Yeah. It was like a promo battle.
Yeah.
It was sort of a weird. It was a weird card.
Yeah,
it was set up.
It was weirdly structured.
Yeah. So the speed tournament, Alexis King versus a new guy, Chaz Starboy Hall. He looks out there. He's from Evolve, and
looks like an ECW refugee from 1998.
Yeah, kind of does. Yeah, apparently he is a darling of the West Coast Indies.
He's a Dudley or something.
Yeah.
He's one of the Dudley bastards.
He was bad though. Let's see where he goes. Alexis King advanced in the tournament. Mixed tag match. Tatum Paxley and Shiloh Hill versus Blake Monroe. And I have the non-tag team dude from the Rohypnol Collective. Jackson Drake, ? It's Jackson Drake. That was his name. Yeah. I found out. So Blake Monroe, and I forgot to mention this when we were talking about Standing and Deliver. Blake Monroe lost, but she stole the title belt. So the guys in the Rohypnol Collective made her a new title belt, and they've been just massively up her ass. It's been gross.
It feels very date rapey.
Yeah.
Well,
they just seem very date rapey.
Yeah.
So Drake. Yeah. Get some of that nail polish that you can test your drink with. Drake Monroe won because of shenanigans. Drake and Monroe won because of shenanigans. Yeah, and then the main event was Lola Vice promo. JC Jane came out. And I have another note. How is she not on the main roster already? Ugh.
Yeah,
I've been saying that for a long time. But we talked about that already. All right. There was no Collision this week. Collision was last Thursday. We talked about that on last week's episode. So we only had one AEW show for the week. It was not enough, but it was good. The Dynasty. Well, we're going to have Collision, obviously, this Saturday. Dynasty pay-per-view is going to be this Sunday.
Which we won't watch. Yeah. We could, but we don't want to plop $40 on that. Yeah.
No, thanks. No. All right. So, Dynamite opens up in the parking garage. Will Ospreay went after Moxley. Then the Death Riders came out. Then United Empire. And what's her name? What the hell is her name? Alex Windsor came out. It's a big brawl in the parking lot. Kyle Fletcher was forced to vacate the TNT title due to an injury, unfortunately. So at Dynasty, there's going to be a gauntlet match for the TNT title.
Which I believe, what's his name, from Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah. Later in the night, there was a placement tournament, Tommaso Ciampa versus Mascara Dorada. Ciampa won that. I think this was kind of a thrown together thing at the last minute. So that was, as far as we know, that was the only one that was on Dynamite. But I'm guessing there's going to be more on Collision on Saturday. So there's a trios match. Kyle's family, Takeshita, Thick Boy.
It's Takeshita.
Okay, Ian Riccaboni.
Okay.
You can't pronounce names correctly. All right. Takeshita, Thick Boy, Mark Davis,
yes,
and Andrade.
You're making fun of me, but you're just calling like Mark Davis.
I know his name. His name is Mark Davis, but I call him Thick Boy.
You almost said Thick Boy.
His name is Mark Davis, but I call him Thick Boy.
And I know it's Takeshita. I know it's not Takeshita.
Anyway, and Andrade versus. I'm hungry. Let me just get through this. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay. They're gonna kick us off Twitch.
This is very fun analysis for wrestling.
Yes. Darby Allin, Bandito, and Jack Perry. The Callis family won. Andrade pinned Jack Perry. At the beginning of the match, Andrade left for some reason. Then Darby Allin left also. Grabbed the mic and yelled at him until he came out. It was a little pointless.
You know why he went out? He had to take a shit up.
This is going to be the last episode of this show. I can't take this anymore. I'd rather work with a parrot. Okay, I take it back. Anyway, it was a good match otherwise. Then afterwards, they all stayed in the ring to beat up Jack Perry. The Bucks came out and helped him. Okada came out to help Takeshita briefly before they went after each other.
Which I'm tired of this angle. She didn't get off the pot.
Yeah, and Don Callis was talking, everybody. Later on in the show, Don Callis was talking, everybody wants to see Okada and Takeshita go at it. But we're not going to do that. We're a family. Just because they don't like each other doesn't mean we're not a family. So he's making them team up as a tag team for Dynasty against the Young Bucks.
Did they do this before?
I don't think so.
It feels like it.
But, yeah, that's like everybody does want to see Takeshita and Okada go at it. They've been building this up for a long time. I don't know. All right. Queen Aminata is back, which is good. She was out for an injury for like 6 months. So she had a TBS title match with Willow Nightingale. Willow retained, but may have tweaked her shoulder. Hikaru Shida is back. She was watching the match. So we'll see what happens with all that. Chris Jericho is back. I think we announced that in headlines. He's officially back.
He's in good shape.
Yeah, he's in good shape. He got in the ring. We talked about returning. The Demand came out. They gave him a hard time. There's this kitty now in the video. This is going to get us all the viewers. Hey, cat. If you need to destroy your father, I understand.
Hello, people on the internet. I am Tim today. Hello. What's going on? You guys talking about the stupid again? I'm out of here.
He's waiting for chicken.
I'm waiting for dinner, damn it.
Yes, I'm also waiting for dinner.
I want dinner.
All right. Yeah, Demand came out. They're doing something sometime together.
What now?
Yeah, Jericho and the Demand are doing something at some point.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know when or what.
It's up for Chris Jericho and Ricochet at the next pay-per-view. Basically,
what, Dynasty or the one afterwards?
No, the Dynasty.
Okay. And yeah, I do have to agree with you. Chris Jericho does look a lot better than when he left. He's lost weight. He's gotten in better shape.
Yeah.
I don't care. I find Chris Jericho annoying. All right. The TNT, that we talked about, the Tommaso Ciampa versus Mascara Dorada. Oh, gosh. Excuse me. That's not going to get us any viewers. All right. Cope and Cage get jumped by FTR and two Don Callis members. Very interesting teaming up there between, I didn't write down which two Callis members, but interesting teaming up there with FTR.
There was other thing to the Cope Cage thing.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
There was sort of going around. And I don't know if it's actually like one of Kristen was. He's like his son from his first marriage, or with in a picture with Chris Jericho and then Cope and Cage, and Cage is looking at Benoit's kid, and everybody's like doing the whole like, so I heard you had a father. Like, oh damn! I hope that's
Didn't he get
yeah.
murdered by his?
No, there was he was in two marriages basically.
Oh, so he survived.
Yeah, so yeah, he wasn't even in that scene by the time like the whole thing went down. So like I've been seeing it going around. I'm like, man, that's kind of cold blooded.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a little crass, guys.
yeah, I don't know if that really was him or just like something going around, but
Like a Photoshop or something.
either a Photoshop or like I don't know what this Benoit's kid looks like enough to like point it out. But I just found like that's just Edward shit to be Edward shit.
Yeah, that's not cool.
But back to point.
Anyway, so United Empire, Will Ospreay as the main event of Dynamite on Wednesday. United Empire, who I guess they've been in Japan.
Yeah, their big thing is in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But they've made occasional spots. There have been people like your guy Thick Boy Davis has been a member of that. Kyle Fletcher was a member of United Empire.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So basically, it's mainly either people. There have been American members
so it's
of United
like
Empire, but
mostly British-centered Bullet Club that fights in New Japan.
I wouldn't call them Bullet Club, but yeah, I guess in the idea of a gaijin faction that has like a lot of like I said, British. It's been largely
mostly British colonial, now more past.
Yeah, our past or members of the Commonwealth.
Ospreay and Alex Windsor, both British, versus the Death Riders and United Empire. Ospreay and Alex Windsor won.
Yeah.
So that's
our program.
Was the week in wrestling, and you can tell my voice is starting to get a little funny. All right. So yeah, we are. I think that's about it. It's been about an hour. I think, and my voice is starting to get a little rough. I think I've strained it enough for the week. We do have our trivia question provided this week again by Dan.
Yes.
I can see it. Hold on.
Well, you're not even anywhere in the picture.
Shut up. I'm working on it. I'm trying. Okay.
We've done a lot of production meetings to get this stuff right.
Okay, go ahead and read it since it's your question.
All right. In the main event of WrestleMania 2000, who did Mick Foley replace? It was the match. WrestleMania 2000 was the Big Show versus The Rock versus Triple H versus Mick Foley. But Mick Foley was not the intended fourth guy. There were actually promotional posters put with this individual, but to have him be a member of that fatal four, but he did not wind up being in that match. Who was that person?
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook. Leave a comment on YouTube. Josh, I'm looking at you, Josh Gardner on YouTube. If you know the answer, let us know, and we will announce it next Friday. You're going to be home next Friday, right?
I think so.
Okay, you got two shows, but they're Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. And I don't think I'm working Friday at the library.
No, I don't think you are.
I do want to take a moment, though, to tell you guys about my... I have a Kickstarter out right now.
Yes. Oh, good idea.
Yeah, right now I'm basically trying to get two of my older books, The Paranormals and The Pistoleers. I listened to you all say that they read fantasy. Guess what? I'm bringing a fantasy book in The Pistol and The Paranormals, and I'm bringing on a Western series in The Pistoleers, so you all can check it out. And for those who haven't read it, and those who have read it, there will be new bonus material. It will be...
It will actually be edited correctly.
Yeah.
Asterisk. Yeah. By me.
And I have a bunch of new pinups, and they will both have source guides and new covers. But all the same story, just cleaned up and put together a little nicer, a little more trim. It's down to its last 8 days. We have made an initial target funding, but we do have 2 stretch goals, very, very reasonable stretch goals that I'd like to try and get through before everything runs out. If you want,
We will we'll leave the link in the comments. We should have mentioned this yesterday or last week. I totally forgot about it. But we'll leave the link in the comments on YouTube and on all of the in the comments on all of our Facebook posts and on Blue Sky for those of you who watch this on Blue Sky.
But yeah, check it out. Please back us if you can. If not,
we'd appreciate it.
Please share the link. I mean, literally
also appreciated.
Door to door, Facebook Messenger, contacting people to share the link, and it has been somewhat successful. We got 29 backers so far, and as of right now, looking for backers 30, 31, 32.
Come on, guys. Help us out.
Yes. That's it for this week of the Ballistic Missionaries. Wrassling Supplemental.
We should be. I'm going to pull out your schedule here for next week. Yeah, it looks like you're working Monday and Wednesday at the library. So we will be back next Friday, barring me ending up in the ER again, or nuclear war, or the electricity and our internet gets shut off.
Yeah.
Or that's all I can think of at the moment. So we'll be back on Friday.
The Dandelion Apocalypse.
Oh, is that scheduled for next week?
I'm afraid so.
All right, we'll see what we can do.
We're going to try and be here.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next
3
week,
weeks
though.
In a row.
Oh, my God, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.